By the end of this video, you're gonna have a very good conceptual understanding of what Bitcoin is. And I believe that I am well positioned to give you this explanation because I am actually not an expert when it comes to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. So I am very aware of what it's like to have zero understanding of these topics. And so I think I will be able to explain what Bitcoin is in a way that lands for you. So Bitcoin, the easiest way for me to conceptualize what it is it's like digital cash and also like digital gold. When I say it's like digital cash, I'm going to give you a run through of why Bitcoin is like digital cash. Imagine you and me went for a run, and at the end of the run, we decide to grab an iced coffee. I go in to the coffee shop. I come out with 2 iced coffees. I give you one. You take out $5 out of your wallet and put it into my wallet. What's interesting about that transaction is that it's peer-to-peer. You did not have to go and check with your bank to see if it's okay if you gave me that money. As long as the money was in your wallet, you were able to take that money out of your wallet and place it into mine. Bitcoin is similar. You're able to give me Bitcoin or a percentage of Bitcoin directly from your Bitcoin wallet to my wallet. And you don't have to check with your bank. If the money is in your account, if the Bitcoin is in your account, it can go from your wallet to my wallet. What you're probably thinking now is, okay, well, what is the thing that verifies whether or not you had cash in your wallet? What is the thing that verifies it? Because Bitcoin is digital, right? It's not in a physical world. At least with the example of the coffee, you gave me $5, and I could see it. I could feel the $5. How do I verify that you actually have the money? If there's no middleman, what is verifying? So there's these things called miners, Bitcoin miners. And what they're going to do is they're going to verify, do you have enough money to make this transaction occur? If you do, okay, great. We're going to send it from this account to that account. And once the transaction finishes, that miner is going to add this record, this transaction record, to this grand ledger. There's this huge ledger that all these different Bitcoin miners are adding records to. And in exchange for verifying transactions and adding these records to the ledger, they get rewarded with Bitcoin. They get a Bitcoin reward. So what's cool is rather than having a central bank doing all the checking for you, well, you have Bitcoin miners that are in random spots in the world verifying whether or not this transaction is legitimate, if the sender has enough funds. And then if it does, it goes and takes that record or that transaction and adds it to the ledger and then updates the ledger, and then all the Bitcoin miners get that updated ledger. So I hope you're with me so far. So that is how it's like digital cash. So now let's jump into why it's like digital gold. So Bitcoin's like digital gold because there's only 21 million Bitcoin available ever. It's capped at 21 million. The reason why I like to think of it as digital gold is because similar to regular gold, there's only a certain amount of gold on Earth. I don't know how much, but there's only a certain amount of gold on Earth. And in the beginning, it's a lot easier to get that gold. During the gold rush, it was very easy to find gold. But as time goes on, we have to go deeper and deeper into the earth to get gold. Similarly, those miners that we talked about, every 4 years, there's a thing called a Bitcoin halving, where the reward for validating transactions and putting those records onto the grand ledger, the reward for doing that is halved. So it gets harder and harder for those Bitcoin miners to get rewarded, for those Bitcoin miners to get Bitcoin, to mine Bitcoin. It's a resource that there's only so much of. And so that, again, that's why it's like digital gold. And again, you can't touch it, but it's in cyberspace. So that's how it's like digital gold. And then the last point I want to make here is that this ledger, we're talking about this ledger keeps track of all the transactions that happen. And it's public in a way, sort of. How it works is it shows, okay, there was money transferred from this account to this account, from this account to this account, and everyone can see that ledger. But no, but these account numbers are just a long sequence of numbers and letters. So we don't know who they belong to. So that's another point that I want to make. And so that is it in simple words. If you are watching this video and you are very knowledgeable in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or blockchain, and I have misrepresented anything or said something that was inaccurate, please let me know in the comments, because I really want to provide accurate information and useful information to people. So I'm not an expert. I just recently feel as if I understand what Bitcoin is, and I'm trying to explain it in simple words. So anyhow, that I just want to add that there. If there's somebody out there who's very knowledgeable, please chime in the comments. I would love that. And for everybody else, if this helped you, leave me a thumbs up, and I will talk to y'all on the next one.